Cheers.
There we go. That's how you started off right
Much
there.
better than Sprite.
You know, it's a different mix for Eric today.
Yeah.
Eric switching it up on us.
Switched it up. Pink lemonade.
There you go. I like to hear it.
Pink lemonade for the pink cocaine that killed someone that we're going to talk about later in this episode.
I like that too. I don't know why you correlated that, but that was nice. I like it. We'll jump into tons today. We got a little bit of sports, local
stuff.
Entertainment. We always got our political.
We're less than 2 weeks away from.
No, not 3 weeks.
No, not this week.
Well,
next week's the end of November.
Yeah. Oh, so
and
2 weeks.
We're less than 2 weeks away.
Wow.
Tuesday was 2 weeks.
That's crazy. That is so.
Next week's gonna be the last episode to talk politics.
Well, I mean, we'll still be talking.
Pre-politics.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a great idea come the next episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who won the race?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be getting there and talking about it.
Actually,
it'll be perfect. So let's say on a Tuesday we'll be recording. We'll be going to vote.
Yep.
And hopefully, by nighttime, we'll have at least some kind of an idea of how the polls are looking.
I mean, usually.
Yeah.
The last election, we really didn't know until the next day.
No, this election they're saying by Thursday. It won't be done until about Thursday or Friday.
Yeah.
It's gonna take a while. But Eric, please jump us in and let's start off with our local talk.
Yeah, let's start off with local. Last episode we covered about the 2 individuals that committed a homicide, allegedly committed a homicide in Rochester, Michigan. Both of those inmates, or both of those
suspected felons,
suspected killers,
yep,
were arrested and detained, as we talked about last episode. They've also been arraigned. To my knowledge, they're being held with no bail.
As you said, one was found in Louisiana,
Shreveport, Louisiana,
and the other's found in Plymouth, Michigan.
Correct, and the one that was found in Plymouth, Michigan, during the pre-trial, during the arraignment, it came out that he was still going to work every day.
Wow.
They arrested him from his job site, so he worked throughout construction.
As if nothing even happened.
As they were saying, he was born in Saginaw, the gentleman that they arrested second.
Yeah.
A lengthy history of criminal activity. He actually just got off parole 2 years ago.
Wow.
So he's fresh off parole, full-time job, lived in Dearborn.
Do they have a motive yet?
No, they still can't pinpoint why or what was the reason behind this killing. He denied an interview, so they didn't interview him. So obviously they didn't get to ask him any questions regarding what had happened. The other gentleman, I'm not 100% sure on if he has been arraigned, but I'm assuming it's going to be very similar because he was the one that was caught on video.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like they absolutely know that was him.
Yeah, for a fact.
They'll hold him without bail too.
Yep.
And then we'll have to keep him updated on the trial as more unfolds with that.
That's absolutely nuts. It's crazy to see how fast they found him, but how slowly they're getting results on it. That's.
Well, yeah. Yes and no. Yes and no. I think they know a lot more than what they're leading off on the internet.
You think so?
Oh, 100%. Think about it. The images they released to the second guy, you couldn't even see his face. His back was turned.
Right.
They obviously were able to either had better photos of him. They didn't want them to know that they were coming for him. Obviously, they knew where he was at because they found him in 3 days.
Absolutely. At his work site. He didn't flee. The first guy, they found him in Louisiana less than 48 hours later. It was 36 hours.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They have this case on pat since it happened.
It's crazy to see. What else do we have going on locally?
Locally,
we'll have to keep them updated on
yeah,
this one.
So honestly, there's been a lot of weird things going on. I saw on the news yesterday, a mother killed her autistic son and then herself.
Jesus Christ.
More details to come on that. They haven't really released a whole lot.
One thing I do want to say is that I want to touch base on is recently there's been a lot of, I don't want to necessarily say setups, but it's just a lot of robberies that's been going down.
Yeah, a lot of jewelry stores.
Yes, I don't even say jewelry stores, but it's just people in general.
High-end homes.
Yeah. Yes, high-end homes, businesses, lots of cars getting stolen. I don't know if you've heard Mike Burchard, the Oakland County Deputy Sheriff, the head sheriff, the chief. he was speaking on a press conference. A couple months ago, there was a huge problem throughout Oakland County with South American gangs that came into America, and they were targeting high-end homes and getting away with hundreds of thousands of dollars of jewelry, cash, and all of other high-end value things. They, to their knowledge, about last month, they got like the main gang leader.
But then there's been more popping up over the last couple of weeks.
Absolutely. So that's what I was going to touch into. You know, they thought that they got the main gang leader. It slowed down for maybe a week, maybe two. And as Eric said, the last 2-3 weeks it picked up rapidly.
That night after the Rochester stuff happened, the night when they tried to go at 10 p.m. and then came back the next day, there was a series of break-ins throughout Lake Orion, high-end homes in Lake Orion.
I believe it 100%. You know, and they're saying that they're going full spectrum right now. You know, and it's with it coming down to holiday season and all that kind of stuff.
People have valuable things in their homes.
Exactly, you know, and it's coming down to that point where it's getting very, very risky, you know.
Definitely. And then to keep it a little local, let's jump into the sports scene.
Absolutely, you know, let's bring us into our favorite, our home team.
Our home team, our Detroit Lions. They went on the road.
For that, we got to cheers to that one.
Again, man.
To the Lions. Go ahead, Eric.
They went on the road last week.
Got it done. We went all the way to Minnesota.
We went all the way to Minnesota.
We played the Minnesota Vikings at home, at their home.
They were 5-0.
Yep.
5-0. We were 4-1 going into this game. We came into their house. It was a really good game.
Eric,
it started off very scary. I was scared.
Thank God you said that. Okay, so let me tell you. So I had to meet with a customer all the way in Ypsilanti on Sunday. Okay, I got to him by 12:52. Okay, I'm not even kidding. I remember this exactly. 12:52, I got to him. By the time me and him are done talking, it is 12:56. I got in my car. From 12:56 to 1 o'clock, I placed every bet that I could. Right, just loaded them in as fast as I could. It really fucked me in the long run because I didn't really get time to process my bets. Kind of just spam bet them. And by 1 o'clock, the game started. I had from my house to Ypsilanti is a far drive. You know, it's about 45 minute drive exactly. So I was like, well, you know, I gotta do what I gotta do. I said, fuck it. I threw it up right in front of my dashboard while I'm driving, right where the speedometer is.
Why didn't you just turn on the radio, man?
I did.
Dan Miller?
It was connected to Bluetooth, so I can watch and so I can listen.
So let me touch on this before we move forward. So I went somewhere during the game last week as well, and I put the radio on in my car. Bro.
He makes you feel as if you're there.
I was sitting there, I was driving, I was like, he's like, Kevin Raymond, 10-yard catch, and I was just picturing him jumping in there. I'm like,
and he's down to the 50, and he's down to the 20, and he's down for speed.
And he just juked up, oh my God, the Lions have done it again. And I'm like, oh my, all right.
But yeah, same thing, so that's what I was saying. So for the first 10 minutes, I was driving, and I just saw how it was going out, bro, and I was shitting bricks, Eric. Literally, I gotta get home. I gotta see this game. I'm like, I'm fucking.
What the fuck you looking at me for?
Literally, there's people because Eric knows how to drive. I'm already an aggressive driver, and on top of this, I was already pissed. And going down the freeway, minimum 105. Just move. Just zooming in, out, flying home. Yeah.
Oh, well, he was watching the Lions game.
Literally. And so finally, got home, watched the rest of that, and it was the one of the best football games I've watched in a very long time.
After those first rough few minutes, like after it was 10-0, Vikings were up.
The second half was everything.
Even the first quarter was horrible.
Yes.
The last 3 quarters were everything.
The second half is where we slowly start to rebuild, but the third and fourth is the momentum was going crazy. Goff was almost going perfect until one point, until he got spiked a couple times by their defensive line, or by some of the edges that they had coming in. Because it was impressive, I'll give it to the Vikings defense. They were the only the only defense in a very long time to sack Jared Goff. He has not been sacked, and if I'm not mistaken, in over 13 games. So the stats that he has is insane. The time that he has in the pocket, the protection he has in the pocket, it's
like
unmatched.
Tom Brady said, the best O-line in the league right now.
Yeah, he damn near said best everything.
Yeah.
This is just like a 99 overall Madden team.
Imagine imagine thinking 5 years ago Tom Brady would say something like that.
Okay, so since we're on the topic of the Lions real quick, before we hop into a little bit more sports, I want to ask you one thing. So, every year they do the team stats for the Lions. Lions have been slowly making their way up in their rating. Next year will be 2026. They're going to come out with.
Next year will be 2025.
No, they do a year in advance. You get what I'm saying? So, like right now it's 2024. They already have 2025. They have like NCAA 2025.
Oh, yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So in 2025, they'll have NFL 26 and NCAA 26, all that shit. Right? So what will the Lions rating be? Let's take it. I just want to take a prediction here.
If they win the Super Bowl?
With and without.
Without, I think it'll be a lot lower than if they win the Super Bowl.
Okay. I can give that respect. What will you put it at?
97.
No, that's what you said.
If they win the Super Bowl.
There's no 97. Like the Chiefs aren't even 97. Is my point.
You saying overall?
Yeah, like when we play Madden, it says like 89, all that shit. Like,
what's the highest it goes to?
99, but they won't. The highest team is 93, I think.
All right, give me that for the Lions.
Okay.
All right, let's do it this way. They'll be, if they win the Super Bowl, 90 plus.
Okay.
If they lose the Super Bowl,
you can't say
80 to 85.
Try to be a little more specific.
82.
Okay. Interesting. I give Lions, if they don't win, 85. If they do...
They're already rated higher.
I don't think so.
Yeah, they were 87.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Already?
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. So if they don't win, then I give them 89. If they do win, I give them a 92.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I was like saying 97. Because they're playing lights out, bro.
That's crazy stats. That's crazy. On top of crazy stats, we got our Lions winning. They're now 5-1 on top of the NFC division. Some people would say the top of the NFL almost, even though that. Well, with the Chiefs being 6-0.
I want to say that, but the Chiefs somehow keep pulling it off, even though they don't have any players.
Well, that's how everyone. That's the whole thing that's finally convincing people that this whole thing is scripted. Because Mahomes is becoming the most washed quarterback in the industry. Okay, he has no talent anymore. He just has. He's taking out his own players. He's doing the other teams, work for them. Long story short.
Dude, you see him fucking pancake that guy last weekend though?
He did. He's trying to prove a point, and that's what a lot of people are saying is that he's trying to play a lot more corporate than a lot more franchise. That's what a lot of people are saying about him.
He's trying to play like Lamar Jackson.
I wouldn't say that because Lamar Jackson. Yeah, but I wouldn't agree to that because I feel like he's not doing what made him him. He's sticking to a script now. It seems like, but it's crazy to see that. I really hope that we get the opportunity to play them again, and it'll be a show for sure.
Oh yeah. I think we're going to play in the Super Bowl.
Well, yes, that's what I'm saying.
There's no doubt. I mean, it's like a given the Chiefs are going to make it to the Super Bowl.
Absolutely, and San Francisco.
They're the best AFC team by a long shot besides the Bills, but the Bills choke every single time they even get close. So.
Absolutely, and it doesn't seem like San Francisco is a big threat this year. The Washington Commanders are an actually decent team for once.
Yeah, but I don't think...
Jaden Daniels is injured now, though.
Right, and being that he's a rookie, I don't think he could take him all the way first year in the league.
Interesting. One more thing being said, it's not a Lions season without a JAMO suspension. we spoke about it last season.
So before we move forward, though, I heard he's practicing today.
He's a lot of practice. He just can't play.
It sounds like he's thinking about appealing it now.
Interesting.
Because from what I've read online, because no one's ever said what he tested positive for yet, but being that it's only a 2-game suspension, my guess is he used some sort of pre-workout that wasn't approved by the NFL.
So this is the same thing me and Chris talked about. I don't think it was that. I think it was something a little bit more serious, but it was something not too serious. I think he was using SARMs, Tren, or some kind of testosterone supplement. Yeah. Because exactly like you said, if it was real steroids or real there
would be a lot
enhancements.
Than 2 games.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. It has to be something
not allowed.
Something
a
that's
2-game
not
suspension.
Serious at all.
That had to be. He had to go use something, and he tested, and it was like, oh my god, you have opium in your system.
Bro, even like the shit you were just saying, it'd be a lot longer suspension.
You think so?
Games. Yeah, those are serious.
No, they're not.
Some of them are.
No, none of those aren't.
You could be using like a blue chew pill, something even like that, bro, will set off a drug test for the NFL.
Interesting.
Because of the supplements in it.
No, of course.
Because
the ingredients in it.
You might, I'm sure you know this, but like their pre-workout they use, it all has to be approved by the NFL.
Absolutely. That's the whole problem with like police officers, right? They're not allowed to eat poppy seed bagels because poppy seed is opium.
Even when you're on probation, you can't
well,
eat
anyone who
seed.
tests, right? You're not allowed to eat any poppy because that's opium. So anyone who eats poppy seed bagels, even if you have a name in 2 months, you will piss for opium, for heroin, pretty much.
Right.
You know, and
but that's why they also allow a certain amount in drug tests, because when you eat it, your levels don't get high.
Absolutely,
like
than consuming as a druggie.
Correct.
Than straight heroin, straight opium.
Right. But that's why I think it's like some sort of pre-workout creatine or something that wasn't approved.
It's gonna be interesting to see because it's not like the next 2 games are anything crucial. It's the Texans and it's the Titans, but
No. It's
it's Texas and Titans.
No, it's Tennessee and then Packers.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was Texans. Everyone
No,
was
we
saying
play
it was Texans.
he comes back on the Texans game. Yeah.
Okay.
Which would be our 3rd game from now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's we'll need him for Green Bay for sure, but we're gonna hold it down without a fact.
Dan Gamble said they're ready either way.
Hutch seems happy. He's recovering slowly but surely. One more thing I want to hop into. You know, sadly our Tigers couldn't make it, but you know it's coming down to the World Series, the first game. LA looks fucking insane. They have so much shit happening. It's gonna be the Yankees versus the Dodgers.
It's gonna be a crazy game.
Who do you think?
Yankees.
I'm probably with you too. I think that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I wanted to see the Dodgers. I'm feeling a New York win here.
Yankees win by 2.
You think they're gonna?
Yankees win by 2.
Interesting. That'll be really interesting to see. And then one thing we want to say again, you know, NBA is back. We're hopping into the first series.
Yep. Bronny made his debut
with Bron. His pops setting first record in the NBA history of father-son playing not only together but on the same team.
Yeah.
Yes. Crazy history being made. Best of luck to them.
Best of luck. Let's end this sports talk with one thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's bring it back to the beginning. Talk about Minnesota one more time.
Yeah, please.
So there's a bunch of trade rumors going on with Minnesota right now.
Really?
It sounds like they're about to get rid of Sam Darnold, their quarterback.
Interesting. They love him, I thought.
They do, but they don't think he can get them to their Super Bowl.
Interesting.
You know who they're believing about trading for? Take one wild guess. Think quarterback. He's big.
Don't tell me what I'm thinking.
No, there's no trade clause in Jared Goff's
Oh,
contract.
I was gonna say he better be lying.
Anyone but Jared Goff. He's a starter.
What's his name?
He's a starter in the NFL,
I know.
and he's not Jared Goff.
Bo Nix?
So the bunch of trade rumors are going around right now about Minnesota Vikings trying to acquire Matthew Stafford from the LA Rams.
Wow.
Because the LA Rams are seeking a trade on Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, they're suffering right now. They need to open up capital, and he's their most expensive right now. That's what
Minnesota thinks Matthew Stafford's their ticket to the Super Bowl.
He's a vet.
He's a vet, yeah. I'm not saying he's not a great quarterback.
No, because right now, like, even without him having Cooper Kupp, who's the other guy?
Cooper Kupp's coming back this week, too.
No, I know, but who's the other?
Nakua,
and a couple other people that they have. You know, he's still managing to make it work. You know, his sidearm, no one can beat.
That's what I'm saying. And, like, you watched the game last week and Sam Darnold play. When he's under a lot of pressure, he does not play.
He doesn't know what to do. He knows how to run a little bit.
There's a reason he's been a backup quarterback his whole career.
Right. Right now, he's just finally, facing the light.
Yeah. So, it'd be interesting to see Matthew Stafford come back to the NFC North, especially on the other side of this thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
As rivals.
He'll look good in Minnesota.
I like it, man. We'll get to beat him twice a year now.
I say he'll look good in Minnesota. Absolutely.
I think it'll be a great thing.
That's absolutely, Eric. I'm looking forward to see what comes with that. We'll hop off the sports topic for now.
Yep.
Get into a little drama, entertainment. Tell you what I've been finding out, hearing the snoop on a couple things. Trending topic right now. I believe this happened either yesterday or 2 days ago.
Yes.
I'm not even going to lie.
I heard about it this morning, so I'm going to say yesterday.
Famous country singer Zach Bryan broke up with his long-term girlfriend. Everyone calls her Brie Chicken Wing or something like that.
No, that's her last name.
Oh,
Brie Chicken
Fry?
Chicken Fry, yeah.
Brie Chicken Fry. Okay, yeah. So They've been in a serious relationship for quite some time now. She was a famous journalist for Barstool Sports. She
still is.
Yeah, thank you she's a famous journalist for Barstool Sports.
Does multiple podcasts.
She's on the main one with I believe his name's Josh and with Dave. And
she used to do the Call Me Daddy podcast too with that one girl,
yes.
Alex.
Yes, and then she left.
Split off and went and signed a $200 million deal.
Yes,
and Bree stayed with Barstool.
And then the beef kind of all started there. You know, it's kind of interesting to see because I don't know if you know the back history on kind of Zach Bryan more or less on it is that he has a history of this. So he's done this for the last few years. Is that he'll be getting into a serious relationship. With not multiple girls, but it's always a different girl at one time. He will get in like a really serious relationship with each girl. He'll buy a golden retriever. He'll buy a house in their hometown, wherever they live, very close to them. And after a year and a half of whatever it is, it'll randomly just break off, and he'll just be like, "I'm not in the right place or right time, whatever."
Yeah. I don't know. I read something online that he said he's been going through a lot of hard things this year.
Absolutely. That was his post, right? And so that's how Brianna found out that they broke up because he didn't even call her. He didn't say, "Look, we're breaking up." And he told everyone this was a mutual thing. He wants what's best for her. She found out the same way the rest of the world did,
See, I didn't know that. That's horrible.
Absolutely. It was not a mutual thing, discussion, whatever. But at least that's what Brianna is saying. The more truth will be told, obviously, as time goes on.
Right.
But from my understanding, that is what's being said, that she found out with the rest of us. Is that as he posted that, she looked at it and she was like, what do you mean we're broken up? What do you mean you're in a hard place? Because it's very ironic because her main statement in the whole song is, I don't know how familiar you are with it, but Zach Bryan has a song called Blindsided. She said that was the first thing. She was like, "I'm just so blindsided by this." And it's the irony of it. And it's crazy because a lot of people kind of told her, it's like, what do you expect from someone who has a history of this? Because his last girl that he left was his wife. And he left, I don't know if this is why a lot of people don't like him anymore, is because he left her while she was serving in the military. She was not in the military and he just left her, like she was just back. He left her while she was serving in the military.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And so a lot of people lost respect for him, especially in the country community, because you're supposed to be, this big supporter, America, go America, support the troops. And you left your troop, pretty much. Your spouse, who is their troop. And it's a very interesting topic to see how it all unfolds. So people are just saying that he's a professional, gaslighter, that it's always about him.
Yeah.
But I don't want to just take one person's side. I'm always sure there is another side to it.
I'm pretty sure this shit happened last night, bro. So there's going to be a lot more.
I'm so curious to see on what it is because they were very happy together. He wrote a song about her, but he wrote a song about each of his girls. It's a very what is the word, misogynist? Is that he's a very misogynist kind of move, a very egotistical move.
Well, I mean, he's famous.
No, but even Chris Brown hasn't done some shit like this.
Yeah, but he beat up Rihanna. I don't say.
Yeah, but just Rihanna. This is like a on cycle on Pete. You get? I'm not trying to justify.
Chris Brown. Shit.
Yeah, she's like, well, how about Stephon Diggs? How about this? How about that? And he's like, well, how about that? Of course, bro. It's crazy to see on how that's all working out. Yeah, it's crazy to see on how it's all unfolding with it. One more thing I want to jump into, a couple more things. For the people who aren't familiar with Big Meech, they have the popular show about him being a meth. This is Eric's hero right here. But Big Meech has just been released from the federal penitentiary. He has a program that he has to serve in for the next 15 to 16 months.
He'll be home.
Yeah.
No time.
I'm sure he'll get good behavior, maybe 12 months, but it'll be about a year till he's home. He'll be serving that. I forget where they said.
I don't think it's Michigan.
No, it's definitely it's in Atlanta or somewhere like that.
I think it's in Kentucky or something funny.
Possibly, but they're saying he'll be when he gets out of that, he'll be going back to Atlanta. He will not be going back to Detroit. And so the rumors is that it's Charlamagne the God, all these guys are talking about it, is that in 2025, clear your calendar, because there's going to be probably, once he's home, it is going to be the craziest party you've ever seen. I saw pictures of him, bro, and he's still huge.
He looks like he's still moving 200 bricks a week.
Eric, right? He never stopped moving weight. Whether it was fucking actual pushing weight like dumbbells or just moving fucking cocaine and drugs.
Right.
He's been pushing. It never stopped. He ran up an empire of almost $290 million at the height of it.
Supposedly.
Of course.
I think it's a lot more than that.
Well, see, that's my thing, right? If the government can say that number,
it's double.
Thank you very much. I think if
not triple.
If the government can comfortably come out and say 290 million, I think exactly right there. I think it was easily a $500 million operation.
Because they're just talking about what Meech made. What about his whole enterprise? What about his record label?
Absolutely.
That's what this.
What about what was actually laundered clean?
So, I think the $290 million number comes from how much money his record label made, because he was washing his money through his record label. So
that's where the main money was washed. Yeah.
Correct. So they're saying he made $290 million because that's how much was washed through his record label. I think it's a lot more than that. I'm not saying it's 60. He's not doing 60 million a week like fucking El Chapo was, but
burning money to stay alive.
Right, bro. He made
to stay warm.
He ran an empire for 20 plus years.
No, absolutely. And it was crazy to see on how, we talked about Malone a couple weeks ago, and I think this will put Malone to a different, a lower pedestal that's never been seen,
What Malone was doing in the clubs, Meech was doing that every night, bro.
My point, and that was when money was not equivalent, and he was still blowing it. It was crazy to see on the way they were getting down. But yeah, I'm very excited to see everyone saying that get ready for the new movies to come out, give it about a year or two. Craziest movies are gonna come out.
Where's the party?
Atlanta. It'll probably be Magic City or some shit. Future gonna host a party. 'Cause he owns Magic City.
Part
owner, yeah. But one more thing I want to get into to bring it back to a little bit of local talk. Greektown, for the people who aren't familiar, that is one of our small little areas. It's like a couple mile radius block of a downtown area in Detroit, where we have a casino down there. We have some of the stadiums kind of nearby, lots of restaurants, active life, nightlife there.
People get shot there?
Not recently. Ever since they've been putting a lot of work, it's dropped dramatically. Yeah, it's dropped dramatically. You know that. It's not like.
I was just fucking.
I was say it's not how it was in 2021. But one thing I want to say is that downtown, or not downtown, but Greektown itself is getting a whole remodel, whole relook. Yes. I was looking at this and it's beautiful. We're gonna pop up the pictures. I'll show you it to you later. We have the new look right here.
No, not TV.
Oh, TV. We got the new look right here. We'll swipe to another look. This will be surrounding streets right here. But yeah, it's gonna be absolutely beautiful. So the main area of where actual Greektown is in the casino. Do you know how there's like a road that you can drive down?
Yeah, in the middle.
There'll be no more. There'll be no more roads.
Because that's where all the violence and all the
exactly around the roads.
Happens,
so they'll all be shut down. They'll plant. Long story short, if you're familiar with Main Street on Royal Oak, it'll look exactly like that. So
with no road.
With no road. All the restaurants will have seating outside, like extra seating if they don't have it already. The whole road will be shut down.
So they're turning it kind of into like that Campus Martial shit.
Absolutely, where it's more residential walkway.
Yeah, where you can't walk in the road.
And it's going to be a couple blocks like that. And then a little bit, maybe a couple blocks down the street, they're going to try to incorporate the same thing, but it's only going to be one-way driveways. So there's not going to be two-way traffic going back and forth blocking the streets. It's only one-ways. And
Smart.
They're trying to add a lot more greenery, a lot more lights to the city. And
Detroit's coming back for the people that aren't from Detroit.
No, absolutely.
Come visit.
We'll show the pictures and I'll show you too. And the Mox looks really nice of it. Absolutely. I'm excited to see it, Eric. They said that by.
Photos are still going in the background.
Absolutely. Either the end of 2025 or beginning of 2026, we should start seeing the end of it.
Yeah.
So that'll be awesome.
I don't think the end of it, but the start to something.
No, they're going to be starting by next spring. So by next April.
Next spring, 2025, so they ain't gonna be finished in 2027. They're redoing the whole casino?
No, just the roads.
Oh, just the road?
Yeah,
I thought the whole casino.
No, just the road. No, nothing with the casino.
Okay.
Just the roads around and adding more greenery, adding more trees and shit.
Yeah, that's smart. They're gonna take away the fucking road.
Yeah, they're trying to make it more like lively, more like livable. It is actually enjoyable to be there. It's not a deterrent to be there.
Right.
But let's jump into our politics. We're getting so close. Like Eric said, it jumped my mind that we've been fucking that close. We got one candidate who's, yelling at people that, I want to say exact word for word. We had someone who went to Kamala Harris's event in Michigan and yelled, "Christ is King, Jesus is Lord." Kamala stopped the whole event. And she said, I think you're at the wrong event. I think we're looking for the smaller event down the street that praises Jesus and Lord and all that stuff. So from my understanding, we're gathering together that if you're a Kamala Harris supporter, you don't support Jesus. You don't support God. You don't go to church. That's not my words. That's her words. Right. Because when this person yelled out, "Christ is King, Jesus is Lord," she told them that they're at the wrong rally. That they should go for the smaller one down the street, which is the Trump one, which is apparently so tiny. You know, it's so big it's hard to find. You know, but it's crazy to see. You know, the way that they dig themselves a hole. I wouldn't be so biased on Trump if it was actually a good argument. People ask me, you know, like, you don't give me like a chance to actually argue. Give me a good argument. Give me one good policy Kamala Harris has done, or that you like. It doesn't have to be done yet. One that you proposed? I don't know. Nice, solid. I like it. We'll regroup next week. And so that's the whole argument here. It's a lot of opinion without a lot of fact. And you know, I have no problem being proven wrong, but it's got to be factual. We have Trump working at McDonald's. A lot of people are lighter on like the liberal side are like, this is the most fake thing I've ever seen. How can people believe this is real? Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Obviously, dumbass. You think Trump's going to go walk into a random McDonald's and say, "Hey, you mind if I hop behind the counter and just start serving people?"
Yeah, obviously, it's planned.
They shut that whole thing down. My brother told me, okay? It was a guy in the Pittsburgh area. It was in the Pennsylvania area who owns 25 or 27 McDonald's throughout the Pennsylvania area.
Right.
They did a stop in Philly. They had thousands of people for miles lined up outside before he even got to the McDonald's. Okay, this guy said, "Come to any McDonald's you want, and we'll shut the whole thing down and we'll make it work." So at 4 o'clock, they put up signs. You know, after 4 o'clock, no more business. My brother told me they screened all these people. They handpicked everyone. Of course, it's all set up. You think they're gonna let me and you just drive through? God forbid, obviously me and you love Trump, right? But like, imagine we're the opposite, right? Within a heartbeat, you pull a gun, boom, shot him right there.
Yeah, obviously it's screened.
It's thought through to the maximum.
Right.
You know, and that's what a lot of people are like, how do you guys believe that this is real? How do you think that Trump
It's not real. We know it's not real.
It's just the fact that he would go into McDonald's, would go put on an apron, would go get some grease and salt on him. You know, because that's what half of America is doing. They're getting down and dirty.
Right.
And everyone's saying that you're a billionaire, you'll never do that. He's doing the same thing. That's the point that's trying to get proved here.
Never did that as he built half of Manhattan.
Absolutely, you know. It's really interesting to see on how one guy won't take a break. You know, he's currently on a 23-day bender for the race with 14 days left. That's damn near being said he's going to go for 35 days straight, almost 40 days straight without, you know, taking any breaks or anything. And Kamala's taking almost 2 to 3 days off every week. You know, she can barely answer any questions with reporters, dodging all these questions. Did you see the interview she had with Fox?
I heard about it. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I heard about it.
Shit show.
That's what I heard.
Shit show.
She didn't answer much.
Eric, imagine me asking you what's 2 plus 2 and you telling me, well, if we look outside and we look at the trees, we might just be able to see how sunny it is today. What? The fuck are you talking about? 2 plus 2. And then back on another tangent. You know, that's really how it is. One more thing I want to get into. Politics is a very interesting thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it is something that should be discussed.
100%.
I think it is something that should be taught to young kids.
I agree.
But at a certain age, right?
Yeah.
In your opinion, when do you think politics should start being brought up to a child?
In like school or home life?
School.
7th grade.
7th grade, so at
14, 15.
No. 14, 15, you're in high school.
So 13. 12, 13.
Okay, so 7th, 8th grade. So 13, you're in 8th grade usually. Okay, so I would agree with that. I would say maybe even a little bit earlier. I would say in 6th grade when you start learning like a little bit more serious
they
history.
learn about the presidents and stuff, but like
I agree, but I'm saying you should start learning about what is a Democratic Party, what is a Republican Party, what is a Well, what does it mean?
It don't matter that young, bro.
It does. Because it just has to do with history. Because history is flip-flopped. The Democratic Party was the Republican Party now.
Right.
And the Republican Party, so that's important to know.
Yeah, but they learn that in middle school.
You would think. They don't.
They need to.
Thank you very much, Aaron.
7th, 8th grade. Not in 5th grade.
No, 6th grade, I said.
That's too young, bro.
That's the beginning of middle school. That's when history starts to get serious. I'm not saying.
Yeah, but they're like 11. They need to wait till puberty.
No, 6th grade.
Understand.
You do have puberty in 6th grade.
Some people do.
But my point is, Eric, that's when you can start introducing why were the parties flipped.
Right, okay.
Because that history already happened. So then by 7th and 8th grade, when you bring up those parties again, you already have an understanding of it.
Fair
you
enough.
can build off of it. You know, that's my whole point here. In a lot of states, it's done in the opposite way. That's what I'm just trying to get at. Is that right now in California, a lot of elementary and middle school kids are having a mock election. Because they're getting taught how do elections work, what is an election, how do you participate, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And there's one school in California right now, I haven't gotten the name yet, but they're under a lot of fire right now. Families are trying to press civil charges. You can't do criminal charges against it, but civil charges, where they held a mock election where each student voted. And in the description of the assignment, it stated that if you vote for Kamala Harris, you will have the opportunity to win a pizza party for your class. If you vote for the other party, Trump, and their party, you will have no more access to anything, and you will have no rights to the pizza party. A lot of kids kind of shrugged it off because
That's what politics are.
kind of just it's no big deal, right? Any kid who voted in the Trump election, who voted for Trump, has no more access to any school supplies. Any kid who did vote for Kamala ended up getting the pizza party. So now when these kids go to school and they're asking to borrow, hey, teacher, can I have some scissors? Teacher says, no, I'm sorry. Remember when in the election you voted for the wrong person? That's the consequences. That's the whole thing that's going on right now. I will pull this up. I will show you. It sounds absurd, but that's something that's happening in California right now.
I would sue the hell out of the school district.
That's what everyone is saying right now. That this would be the biggest case in the world right now. And I don't know how it's not being aired all over the news right now. But it's something that was my point, and I'm glad you brought it to that point, right? Like you said, at a certain age, it comes to how drastic you start teaching them.
Right.
Whether you're middle school, elementary, or even high school, for you to say you have access to something, and if you do something you don't, that's absurd.
Yeah.
That's absolutely absurd. That's communism. That's slavery. That's
This
not
isn't
right.
fucking Putin or
This isn't
Kim
China,
Jong-un.
right? Exactly.
Yeah.
That's absolutely absurd.
Fucking Jesus.
But with that being said, Eric, we have another crazy 2 weeks to go past. One more thing I want to say. Breaking news, kind of breaking. Currently, Trump is leading in the Michigan polls, and he currently took over North Carolina right now. If he does win Michigan and he is able to secure Pennsylvania as well, it is a guaranteed win for President Trump. If he misses either one of those states, it's a very good chance that he lost the whole thing. So we'll touch more base on that next week. We'll start looking at the electoral map.
Next week will probably be a whole politic episode.
It's going to get serious. We're going to start talking about electoral map. We're going to be talking about the things that are really coming down to it and new policies being said. Trump will be in town
next Thursday,
and JD Vance will be here tomorrow. Yes. So we'll have to touch base back on that. But guys, thank you for tuning in. This is the Unscripted Podcast.
Peace.
We're out.